Great. Hello everyone. I think we are live now. Yes. All right. Great. Yes. So hello everyone. How is everyone doing? Let's see how many people do we have. We have around 15 people already in the meet or already on the live. That's amazing. So guys, can I have a quick plus one from everyone in the chats? How about we have a quick plus one from everyone or a quick hi, hello, just to see how many of you guys are here with us. So I see that Digital India says hi, good morning. Hello, Digital India. Code and Travel is saying good morning. I'm struggling. We'll talk about how you can get a job in IT. Do not worry. Right? We have Pavan. Pavan. Hello, Pavan. So how are you? Memes for Fun is saying hi. Great. Right. So good to see all of you here. Visu is here. Preeti is here. Hello, Preeti. Hello, Viswa. All right. Hello. So I believe that we have great. We have around a lot of people watching. So let's just get started, right? So first things first. Hello everyone, and welcome to AccioJob Sunday Masterclass. And I'm Avi Vashishta, and I'll be your instructor for the day. So I know, as the YouTube title suggests, that today we'll be building Pac Man using just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But before I start, making Pac Man, I would like to tell you guys a little about what we do at AccioJob, right? So I hope most of you guys are aware that we at AccioJob do help you guys get your tech career, right? Your dream tech career in IT industry, and we allow you to basically upskill yourself and also get placed with us. We have three main courses. So we have a Java full stack course, a MERN full stack course, and a data analytics course. So I think Code and Travel was asking that they've been struggling to find a job in IT, and they are a 2022 pass out. So Code and Travel, it more or less depends on the skills that you have. Firstly, that or and the kind of job you want to get into, right? So again, what you guys can do is you guys can book a one-on-one session at through career. You can book a one-on-one session at AccioJob only for your career counseling, and yeah, you can get that. You can get your session for free, and you can actually talk to one of the career counselors at AccioJob and clear all of your doubts, clear anything that is there that you would want to really learn, right, about AccioJob, or about how to get placed, or what tech stack should you prefer, or what career should you go into, right? So we offer all of that, right? Other than that, this is also not our first masterclass, right? Again, today we'll be building Pac-Man using just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I'll be providing you guys with the GitHub repository. I've already coded everything, so you guys don't really have to code along with me. Just sit here for 1 hour, 1.5 hour, just understand everything that I'm going to teach you guys from scratch, and then be able to implement the code, right? So I think in the chats now you'll see that there is a one-on-one free counseling session link that is there. So please book a free counseling session if you guys want to know more about choosing the best tech career that you want, or how to get a job, or how to upskill yourself, especially in tech industry, right? Because that is what we do at AccioJob. All right. So, without any further ado, let's get started. Another thing that I wanted to let you guys know was, again, this is not our first masterclass. So, if you actually go to AccioJob YouTube channel, the YouTube channel at which you're watching this, right, you can click on this playlist section, and over here you'll see that we have a project building workshop, right? So, we have taken a lot of, or we have made a lot of such projects. In fact, I myself have made a lot of projects, right? Last week only, we built another project. We built a calculator, right? So basically over here you can see that we can build a calculator, we can build a Mario game, or we have done that. We've built quiz apps, snake games, right? Spotify clones, Instagram clones, everything, every good project that you can think of that is there available. We have done that, right? And obviously some sessions have been taken by me, some sessions have been taken by other people. So definitely you guys are in good hands. All right. So I believe the introduction is done. Let's get started with the coding part. Yes. So how many of you guys are here? Leave a plus one, and we'll get started with the coding round, or with the coding part of the lecture, right? So basically, guys, what we'll be building is we'll be building Pac-Man, right? And I would first like to show you guys a demo, but for that I need a yes or a plus one in the chats, right? Till you guys don't send me a plus one, I will not start the class. So I hope to see a plus one from everyone. Spy guy is saying plus one, great. Yashika is saying hello, Yashika. Uh, Preeti is saying that Preeti is already a student of front end one. Amazing, Preeti. I hope today's class you'll get to see what you'll learn in front end two then, right? Sheikh is saying plus one. Umesh is saying plus one. Amazing. Can we have more plus ones, guys? Come on. Preeti Rai is saying plus one. Siva is saying plus one. Right? Rai Entertainment is saying hello. Hello. Code and Travel is saying plus one. Great. So, guys, let's keep this entire session very interactive, right? You will be getting certificates towards the end of this class, by the way. So, stay till the end. Around 1 p.m., I'll distribute the link for the certificates. You guys can fill that and get the certificates as well. So, do not worry, the certificates you'll get, right? Talking about the notes. So, this entire notes that I have on my screen, what you guys can see, is something that I've already attached in the YouTube description. So if you just open the YouTube description of this video, you'll see that the first thing that you see is the notes link only, right? So if you click on that notes link, this link should open and this will give you everything that you need to know to build your Pac Man game, right? Again, it has every logic, it has every bit of code, it has every bit of explanation. Ideally, with this, you yourself can build the Pac Man game, and that is how I've designed the notes. Yes, so Sheikh is saying I've completed my internship in front end. Sheikh, amazing. By the way, guys, you guys can add this Pac-Man game in your resumes as well because it will be an amazing thing to add, right? All right. So let's get started. First things first, I would like to show you guys what we'll be building, obviously. So this is what we'll be building, and I know this doesn't look like much right now, but I'll tell you exactly why I wanted to make this to show you guys how we'll be making Pac-Man, right? So you refresh the screen, you have to click on start game. As soon as the game starts, you guys can start moving your Pac-Man, right? The yellow circle is my Pac-Man, and what I can do is I can go, I can basically go anywhere I want to using my arrow keys. These red dots are the eatables that I'll be eating, and I can eat all of them one by one, right? And as you guys can see, as I'm eating, new ones are spawning randomly, right? And the moment I have eaten five new such eateries, right? Or I've eaten five new eating items. What happens is I see a blue box. Now, this blue box is the ghost, right? I hope everyone understands that now my job is to just eat as many dots as I can and try to avoid these ghosts, right? With time, these ghosts do get faster as well. We can add that functionality, and with every five these things that you eat, right? Again, with every five eateries or eating items that you eat, there will be a new ghost that will be spawned, right? And sooner or later, the game will get tougher and tougher and tougher, right? With more ghosts that spawn, right? So this might seem like a very basic game to make, but trust me, it requires a lot of logic, and this is the only thing that you need to actually make the full-fledged Pac-Man game, right? You need to understand how you'll be moving your player. You need to understand that how will I be eating and improving my score as I eat every red dot, right? So the score part is there, the moving part is there. You need to understand that how do I dodge all of these ghosts, right? You need to understand that if I go to the extreme top of the screen, I'll emerge from the bottom. You guys need to understand that if I go to the extreme right of the screen, I need to emerge from the left side, right? And as you guys can see, with as the game is progressing, I am it is becoming harder for me, and then eventually I lost, right? How did I lose? Because my yellow dot touched one of the blue boxes, and that is how we lost the game, right? Game over. Our score was 32, right? Then again, I'll have to click on start game to start my game, and then everything resets. Yes. So has everyone understood the game? What you guys can do is you guys can also play it, and you guys can visit this link to play it. But again, please note that you will need a laptop or an iPad to play it. Why? Because you will be pressing down on your arrow keys. What we can also do is we can create those buttons, right? And allow the user to play the game by clicking on those buttons. We can even do that. That's also not an issue. So here is the link for that. It's attached in the notes. So first things first, has everyone seen the notes? The notes are available in the YouTube description, guys. Please click on the first thing that is there in the YouTube description and you'll be able to see the notes. Right? If you want, I will myself show you guys where the notes are. So this is the live session. If I go over here, this link is the notes link. All right. So all you need to do is click over here and this will take you to our notes that I have attached. Right? And these notes contain everything that is there. All right. Let's get started with the coding part, guys. What do you guys think? Yes? Yes or no? Are you guys ready to start building this? Again, it seems very simple, but trust me, in 1 hour, you're going to learn so much that it's going to really help you guys build other games as well and also expand this game. Yes? Leave a quick plus one in the chats and then we'll get started. Right? I believe we still have around 25 people watching. SP Guy is saying plus 100. Thank you so much, SP Guy. You're single-handedly keeping the chats very interactive, right? Where did Khushi, Preeti, Sheikh go? Umesh, are you still here? Yashika? Yes, Tanisha saying plus one. Great. All right. Let's continue then. Okay. So first things first. Thank you so much, Umesh. how do we really build web applications, right? Let's start with that. So to build web applications, what you need to know is you need three things, right? And what are those three things? You need to know what is HTML, you need to know what is CSS, and you need to know JavaScript. So what are the three building blocks of making any website? It is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now, what is HTML? What is CSS? And what is JavaScript? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. And what that means is this will basically give the structure of your entire website, right? CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. What this will give you is the styling, right? JS obviously stands for JavaScript. And what this will give you is the logic part or the functionality part of your website. So basically, the way that I like to explain this is by saying that building a website is similar to building a house. How would you build a house? The first step of building a house is to first lay down the pillars, right? Then on top of the pillars, you will lay down the flooring, right? The bedrock of the house, right? Then on top of that, you'll make more pillars, you'll make more walls, right? Then on top of that, maybe you want to build another floor, and then finally you want to make the roof, right? So to make a house, what you will do is you will, let's say, have multiple stories, right? You'll have multiple walls, you'll have a roof, you'll have pillars, you'll have all of that, right? So this part of making the house is what we will be using HTML for, right? And what is our house? Our house is our website. So basically, whatever physical structure that you want to give to your website, we'll be doing that using HTML, right? Now, what is the second step of building a house? Making it beautiful, right? Painting the walls, setting up the flooring, setting up the tiles. Do you want marble? Do you want marble flooring or wooden flooring or normal stone flooring? Do you want a polished flooring, right? Do you want white walls or off-white walls or yellow walls, or what color walls do you want? What kind of ceiling do you want? Do you want a false ceiling? Do you want a plastered ceiling? Do you want a ceiling with embroidery done on it, right? So that part comes to the beautification part. Now, the beautification of the house is done by basically using CSS. And again, what is our house? Our house is the website, right? Now, HTML is done. HTML is setting up the walls, the structure. Beautification is CSS part, right? Making colors look different, making the windows look small, making the doors look big, whatever you want to do. The third part is the functionality part. And what exactly is the functionality of the house, you might say? Right? What is the functionality of the house? Well, there's a lot of functionality in the house. If I click on, there's a switchboard behind me, right over there. If I click on one of the switches, the lights turn on. If I click on the other switch, the fan will start running. If I switch on another switch, another light will start switch on. Right? If I turn the tap in my bathroom, water will start flowing. If I turn it anti-clockwise, water will stop. Right? In the kitchen, similarly, there's a gas pipeline, right? If I need to cook, I need a gas supply, right? That gas supply could be a cylinder, it could be the gas pipeline that the government has installed these days. It could be anything. So all of this comes inside the functionality. Similarly, JavaScript is the functionality part of my website, and what it allows me to do is it says that, you know what, if there's a button, I'll click on this button, something will happen, right? I click on my keyboard, something needs to happen, right? Let's say I have my Pac-Man over here. If I'm clicking on the down arrow key, my Pac-Man should go down. If I'm clicking on the right arrow key, my Pac-Man should go right, right? And that is the functionality part. Please tell me if this is clear to everyone. Is this clear to everyone, guys? Yes? Memes of Sun is saying +1. Tanisha is saying yes. Preeti Rai is saying 10,000. Amazing. Right? Any doubts, anyone so far? Okay, great. So, no doubts, right? Amazing. Thank you so much, Umesh. Thank you so much, Memes for One. Thank you so much, Tanisha. It means a lot that you guys are interactive. And again, guys, please stay till the end of the class to receive the link where you guys will be getting your certificates, right? This is a masterclass where you will be getting the certificates. So please stay till the end. All right. Now that part is done. Let's talk about the part of what will be the HTML part of the current game that I'm building, what will be the CSS part, and what will be the JavaScript part, right? What will be the part of my game over here, right? Or over here also, let's just say. Okay. So what I'll be doing is I'll be marking down things that we'll be making. Have a look at this. So the HTML part would be saying that, okay, there is one button over here. there is a score over here, and there is a game area over here. Right? Do you think that is the structure? Now you guys will be thinking that okay, we also need to make a Pac-Man, agreed, and we also need to make eateries, agreed. Right? But those things will come later. The first step is to make a button in my HTML. My HTML, the what is the okay, have a look at this. So what I'm doing right now is trying to understand how to really make a website, right? Let's say if you look at a house. So if you were to make a house, let's say we were supposed to make this house, how would you make it? You would first notice all the things, right? That okay, there is a driveway, there is a small little garden in front of the front house of the house. Over here is the entrance of the house on the right side. On the left side, there is the garage, right? Then over here, there's a roof. Then there's another floor. Over here, there's a room. Then above that, there's another roof, right? So this is how you would make a house. So just like that, what we'll be doing is we'll be having a look at this website and thinking of how will we be making this, right? So now have a look at this. Let's start again. Okay, let's do everything again. We need to break down the structure of the website, and that's it. Don't worry about any other thing. Just focus on the structure of the website. Let's use the green color because there is no, I'm not using the green color in my UI. Okay. So the first step is to make a button like this, right? Now this button will have two functionalities, but right now we're not worried about the functionality. But what are the two functionalities? Start game and end game. If I click on it, the game will end, but then it will become start game. If I click on it again, the game will start, right? The second thing that I need to build is the score text. The third thing that I need to build is this game area. Yes, these are the biggest three things that I want to do. One button, one text, and another will be the game area. Now, inside the game area, I will have a player. This yellow dot will be my player. Yes, what do I mean by player? That I can move this around. Now, I don't need to worry about how will I move this. Right now, my job is to just move this around. The next thing that I need to worry about is these eateries, right? These eating items, right? The food items. Now, over here, what you need to understand is that these are just random dots that I'm creating inside my game area. So technically, these will be created via JavaScript only. I will not create them from the beginning of the entire game. Yes, I think this is it. So one, two, three. First the button, then I need to make the score, then I need to make this area in which I will have a player. Yes, so max to max, four things I need to make. What do you guys think of this? Is everyone agreeing? Yes? Shall we move ahead? All right. So you guys leave a +1 if you guys are agreeing with this, if you guys have understood this. Yes, Umesh says, yep, thank you, Umesh. And Aniket is saying yes, thank you, Aniket. And again, guys, if there's any doubt, let me know. Right now, it's just the logical part. Okay. So let's go to our HTML part now. Okay. So what I'll be doing, guys, is I'll be making a new folder firstly, right? Where obviously I'll be coding. So I'll go to my desktop. Over here, I'll be clicking on new folder, and inside my new folder, I'll say something like Pac-Man, right? So Pac-Man. Now, what I'll be doing is I'll be opening this folder using VS Code. So I'll drag this, go to my VS Code, and just drop it over here. Does everyone know how to use VS Code? Please tell me if all of you guys are comfortable with VS Code. Yes? Okay, so now over here, I'll be creating three files, index.html, I'll be creating styles.css, and I'll be creating script.js. So like I said, we'll be needing three files, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now in HTML part, what do I need to do? I need to initialize my HTML document, right? In my initial document, I'll have my doctype HTML, HTML tags, right? And then the body. Inside the body, I'll have a script tag, so I need to link my script.js, right? I need to also link my stylesheet.js, style.css, right? The title of this will be Pac-Man, correct? Pac Man Game. So this is the initialization of my index.html file. I've linked my script.js, I've linked my style.css, and now I'll start my coding. Now again, what were the 3-4 things that my app needed to have? So my app needed to have just 4 things, right? Yes, it needed to have one start button, end button, obviously, like I said, it needs to have score and then the game area, right? These 4 will be enough. Like I said, the Pac-Man part will be building as soon as the game starts. Yes, So we'll be adding Pac-Man as soon as the game starts, or even we can add it right now also. It's not going to change anything. All right. So what we are going to do is I'm just going to copy this code and paste it. Again, guys, I have attached all the code for you guys to see. Right. So that is why I won't be writing everything in front of you, but rather I'll be explaining everything because that will save all of us a lot of time. And this way, in within just the next 40-50 minutes, your game will be ready. Right. Okay. So we have the start button, we have the end button, we have the score, and we have the game area. Inside the game area, we have a little element that we call as Pac-Man. Yes. So two buttons: start game, end game, score, and game area. Right. Thank you so much, Tanisha. Now, if I go to my live server and I run this, right? Let's have a look at how it looks. It looks like this, right? Now, it technically should not look like this. Why? See, end button is already display none. So we don't see end button, right? So we just see start game, we don't see end game, we see score, and we see game area, and we see Pac-Man, right? Right now we see nothing. We just see start game and score. Why is that? Because we haven't styled it properly. So what will be the next step? The next step is understanding how are we going to style this, right? So now let's go to our open board again and have a look at the styling part, right? Now, what was the styling of the house? What colors the walls are? What colors the lights are? What color is the garden? What are the flowers in the garden? What is the positioning? Positioning is also a styling part, right? Look at this. If I go to my browser and if I again search for a house, go to images. What was the house that we were looking at? This one, right? So over here, you guys can see that what all comes inside my styling. The fact that I have, let's say a dark blue roof, a light bluish grayish doors. Over here, I have a light. Over here, I have stone. Right. Over here, I have yellow lights inside the house. I have white borders. Right. All of my walls have white borders. Then over here, I have the nameplate. I have number plate, whatever. Then over here I have the door, over here I have another thing, then I have trees, right? All of this is the styling part. The styling part also includes the part where you guys are basically positioning things, that this roof is in the middle. It's not on the left side of the house, not on the right, in the middle. This doorway is on the extreme right, this is on the extreme left, right? All of that comes inside the styling part only. So let's have a look at the styling of our Pac-Man game. What do you think the styling will have? The first thing that I see that the styling will have is this. Okay. The first thing that I see is that my button needs to be blue, right? Button needs to be blue with the text of white, correct? After that, my text needs to be white and the background that I have of my entire website needs to be black. So my entire website is black. All of this is black, right? Everything is black. But in the middle over here, I have a white border. And what is this white border? This white border is nothing but is the signification of my game area, because my game walls are just this much. This entire boundary is the game area that I have. Correct? So black background, blue buttons, white text, score should look like this, centered in the screen, white border over here, and inside of this I will have some styling. Right, guys? Does everyone agree with this? Inside of this I have some styling. Right? Now inside of this, what styling do I have? Firstly, I need to make sure that all of these dots, the eating items that I have, and this Pac-Man that I have, all of these need to move relative to the screen, just to this much. I need to make sure that for these items that I have, the red dot, the yellow Pac-Man, the ghosts, right? I need to make sure that all of these items, for them, the world is just this much. This is their world. They will not really go outside, right? For them, they need to stay inside of this border only. So, for that reason, I'll give my white box or my game area the position of what? Relative positioning. And inside that, I'll be giving all of these items that I have position of absolute. Why will I be doing that? I'll be doing that to make sure that these items just stay confined to this boundary. I don't want my Pac-Man to go outside of its world. It needs to stay inside of this world. Right? I hope you guys are understanding this, guys. Is everyone understanding this? Yes? So basically, we'll have a game area, position absolute. These items will stay inside, right? It will have a fixed width and a fixed height, by the way. This game area is fixed. It has a fixed width and a fixed height. It is in the center of the screen. This is also in the center. This is also in the center. So let's have a look at the styling that we need to write. So again, the styling also I've provided to you guys only, nothing too complicated, right? I really appreciate all of you guys, coding, listening to me while I code, right? So styling part is obviously I need to give a background color of black and I need to make every text color as white because my score will be white. Then I need to make everything a centered text line, and that's it. My game area will have a fixed height and a fixed width, like I said. It will have some margin. Why does a margin important? To center it, to give it some spacing, right? Position relative. Why is position relative? Because my Pac-Man and my food items and my ghost need to be inside of it. That's a position relative. A border, why? Because I need to give a white border, right? Background color is this. Oh, over here there's a mistake. The border needs to be white. And overflow hidden. What does overflow hidden mean? Overflow hidden means that if the Pac-Man is going outside of the screen, right? Outside of the box shouldn't really become scrollable. I don't want the box to be scrollable, right? This is my confined world. Okay. Then obviously I have the styling for my Pac-Man. How does my Pac-Man look? It's just a 20 pixel by 20 pixel square that I've made into a circle and is yellow. Position absolute. Position absolute will allow me to basically, it will allow me to move it around wherever I want to inside the box. Similarly with items are half the size of my Pac-Man, right? Because my Pac-Man is two times the size. Then Ghost is the same size as Pac-Man, but the only thing is ghosts are blue in color and they're not rounded, right? Given some basic styling for my score, I've given some basic styling for my button, and that's it. So if we just directly copy this code and paste it in my styles.css, we should be good to go, right? The moment I do that, and the moment I go over here and refresh, this is how it looks. Yes, but right now nothing really happens if I'm clicking on the start game or anything, right? But this is how my game looks already. Why? Because I've given all the stylings that were needed. The blue button, white text over here, white border over here, right? Everything is good to go, right? What do you guys think? Shall we move to the main part of building this Pac-Man game, the functionality? Yes, guys, leave a plus one if you guys want to start with the main part. Okay, great. Thank you so much, Amesh. Thank you so much, Omkar. Thank you so much, Nakul. Again, guys, a reminder, in just 30 minutes, we'll be, more or less getting towards the end of this session. So it's a very small session. So I don't really expect you guys to code along with me. All I expect you to do is just look at the way I'm coding. Yes. So somebody in the chat has said, don't copy code. Definitely, I won't. See, this code is written by me only. But again, we want to keep this session as small as we can. I've provided you the same code, right? So this is the same code. And again, ask me whatever you want to. If there is anything that you want to see. Spy Guy is saying box is not made on my screen. Spy Guy, did you refresh? Did you connect your CSS file? Because see, the box could also not be made because over here, the border was white in color, wasn't black in color. I made this in black, right? So I can change this code now, it is in white. So again, let me just go through all of the code again, right? Body, I've given a background color of black, color of white, font family Arial to make Arial is a simpler text, text align center, meaning everything will be centered. Game area has a width and height, right? Spy Guy is saying buttons are visible. Yes, yes, Spy Guy. So basically, look at this code. The game area needs to have a border of white. I think you must have given a border of black because accidentally that was the code that was there. Okay. Now, if you change this to white, it'll be white. All right, Spy Guy. And Pac-Man, obviously, I've given a basic styling, width and height of 20 pixels, background color of yellow, border radius 50%, look circular. Item 10 pixels, red in color, half the size of Pac-Man, again, absolute. Right? Ghost is blue in color, position absolute, same size as the Pac-Man. Yes, Tanisha, what's your doubt? Where is Ghost? Yes, that is a very good question. So, guys, I told you guys that the Ghost will come into the picture the moment we start the game. So, that is why we're going to start with the JavaScript part, right? Yes, Tanisha, ask your doubt. Go ahead. You don't need to say that you have a doubt. You can directly ask a doubt. I'm open to answering everyone's doubt. Yes. And all right. So, means of answer is saying, where is the ghost? So the ghost will appear once we score 5 scores. So look at this. Score is 1 right now. Right? Just keep looking at the score. 2, score becomes 2, now 3, now 4, and the moment score will become 5. The moment I eat this, there will be a ghost which will appear. See, ghost has appeared. Now again, when the score becomes 10, that is the logic that I've written, because if the score becomes, a divisible by 10, then the entire ghost will appear, right? So now if I scroll down, and now another ghost appears. Yes, so this is the logic for the ghosts. And speaking of why you guys cannot see the yellow circle is because over here in your index.html, you need to add this. Okay. I think this also I had added in front of you. You might have missed this. There you go. All right, now this will work. So you have to manually add your Pac-Man if you want to see it. If I, by the way, over here add my ghost in my code, I'll be able to see the ghost as well. Okay, and that's the best part. That's what I said, right? Over here, if I say ghost, or I think I need to give it a styling of ghost. Yes, a class name of ghost. If I give it a class name of ghost, I'll be able to see my ghost. Right? Now see there's a ghost. All right. Yes, Nakul. So we'll be adding blocks using JavaScript. Guys, so I think we should start with the JavaScript part because I think you guys are getting restless and even I am getting restless. Let's just get started with the JavaScript part and that will explain to you guys how ghost is going to come wherever you want to. Yes, Paigai, I agree. That is a very tough thing to do, right? And Tanisha is saying my Pac-Man is not visible. Tanisha, all you need to do is add this code in your game area. Inside your game area, add this Pac-Man. All right. Don't worry, Pac-Man will get added once you guys integrate the script part. Do not worry, Tanisha. The moment you integrate the script JS part, your Pac-Man will get added. Okay. We're starting with the functionality, and the main functionality is adding the Pac-Man part. All right, do not worry, your code isn't wrong. Okay, Tanisha? Okay. So, but my Pac-Man, yes, Tanisha, I know. So either you need to add it over here, make sure that your styles are linked, right? And then it should definitely be visible. If your Pac-Man is inside the game area and the styling you have given, which is this styling, then it should be visible. Please make sure the spelling is correct as well. We're not writing Pac-Man with a K, we're just writing Pacman. Okay? All right. So yes, let's get started with the JS part. Now, when we want to get started with the JS part, you need to understand that what all functionalities do we really need. Okay, so let's talk about the functionalities that we really need. All right, have a look at this. This is my entire working game, right? Now, what are the functionalities right from the start that I can think of? First step, first step is to say that when the user clicks on start game, the game starts, right? Second step, when the user clicks on this end game button, game should end. So the first step is understanding how will we start the game and end the game. So for us, starting the game, hello Suraj, for us, starting the game and ending the game is nothing but it's just a function that we call. Whenever we are starting the game, we want to reset the values. I want to make my Pac-Man appear over here. I want I want 5 eating items to be there. And I want to get rid of all of my ghosts. So when I start the game, again, guys, this is very important. Please pay attention. When I start the game, what I want to happen is I want my Pac-Man to reach over here at the top. I want randomly 5 eating items to appear on the screen and all the ghosts should go away. My score should become 0. So every time I start the game, I start the game from fresh, right? Then when I end the game, what I want to do is I want to again reset everything, get rid of everything, and maybe even show the user what their score was. Because if you guys realize there comes a pop-up, right? There comes a pop-up on the top of my screen that hey, game over, this was your score. So when I'm ending the game, I would want to do that. Are these two basic functionalities clear? First part is starting the game and ending the game. Start the game, I need to reset my Pac-Man, get 5 eating items, delete all of my ghost items, and make sure everything is good to go. When I end my game, I want to stop everything. Again, maybe get rid of my Pac-Man, get rid of my eating items, get rid of my ghosts. Yes, make the score as 0 and display the original score. Yes, does everyone agree? This is the basic game starting and game ending functionality, right? Okay. After that, what will we be doing? So let's have a look at what we will be doing after that. So this was the first step, starting and ending the game. Now, once you're done with that, what you would want to do is obviously, okay, you guys need to also declare all of your variables, right? So you need to declare your game area, you need to declare your score display, you need to declare your starting button, your ending button, you need to have a score, and you need to make game active. So this game active is the boolean flag that is the game going or has the game ended. This is just a flag that I'll be using to implement a lot of logic in throughout my game, right? So again, this is the first step of code that I'll be writing. So in my VS Code, I'll go over here and do this. This is just all the variable initialization, right? Why am I doing this on DOM content loaded? Because when the DOM has loaded, only then will I want to run this script. All right, obviously. This is just somewhat like a optimization that I'm doing, right? Now, how do I start the game? Again, to start the game, this is the function that I'll be calling, right? Starting the game is easy. Game active becomes true. The flag becomes true. Score becomes zero. Text content becomes empty score, right? Then after that, what do I need to do? I need to take my Pac Man. See, and over here, I'm adding my Pac Man. All right. This is why I told you guys that you need to not Tanisha, so you don't need to worry about Pac Man. Because when the user starts the game, then we'll be integrating Pac-Man, right? So look at this. Even if I don't have Pac-Man over here, if I get rid of my Pac-Man over here, as soon as the user presses the start button, we're calling the start game function. Inside the start game function, I'm making the game is true, game active is true. I'm setting the score to zero. Why? Because I'm resetting the score. After that, I will be displaying the score. Obviously, score is zero. I will then, what I'll be doing is I'll be giving an inner HTML to my game area. Basically, in my game area, I'll be adding in Pac-Man, and that's it. And I'll make sure that the Pac-Man is on the top left of the screen. I can make Pac-Man be on the exact center of the screen as well. I can make it be on the bottom right, bottom left, wherever I want to. Yes, but I'll be doing this whenever I start the game, right? Then what we'll be doing is we'll be saying start button is none and end button will be showing. So again, I want to get rid of start button and I want to show the end button. So look at this. Over here now, if I click on start game, this happens. As soon as I click on end game right now, nothing happens. But if I click on my start game, this happens. Yes. Yes, Omkar, you can even do that. You can get the highest score. So you can make a new variable to set the highest score. All right. Or maybe what you can do is you can use local storage to implement high score forever and ever, or session storage as well. Yes. Okay. Hello, Sobik. All right. So, okay, great. Let's continue. So what is the next functionality? The next functionality that we talked about was ending the game. So again, how will you end the game? You will make the game active as false, right? Inner HTML is zero because you want to null, you want to get rid of everything that is there, right? Then you want to show the start button again, and you want to get rid of end, the end button game, right? After that, what you want to do is you want to just show an alert saying that okay, your game is now over, right? And your current score was this much. So this is the part that we also discussed right now, right? So for this also the code will be very simple. Just create an endgame function, add an event listener to your endgame, and over here what we are doing is we are setting the game area as false. We are inner HTML is becoming null. That means we are getting rid of our Pac-Man, we are getting rid of the food items, we are getting rid of the ghost, right? Then what are we doing? So we are setting the end button game as none. We are removing the end button game and we are showing the start button game as well. When we clicked on the start game, we were getting rid of start button and showing the end button. So it becomes somewhat like a toggle now. So if I click on start game, I see end game now. If I click on end game, I call my end game function, which shows my score, and that is it. And once I click OK, everything goes away. So again, start game and end game are very simple. Start game, you'll be initializing all the properties, everything, right? The Pac-Man, the food items also will make. And inside the end game, you're getting rid of everything. You're making the score as zero. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next functionality. So this is done. Let's say our start game is done and our end game is done. Now, what do we need to do? Now we need to make sure that our Pac-Man is moving whenever we are, going right, left, right? We need to make sure that our ghosts start appearing. We need to make sure that we can eat also this whatever red item is there. And again, if we, try to eat the blue box, we will die because blue box are the ghosts, right? So how will we do that? Let's think about it. So once the game, these two things are done, game starting and game ending is done, right? Let's talk about the next part. I think the next part should be to first, randomly generate these food items. Yes, what do you guys think? To randomly generate these food items? Okay. So what we can do is, again, we can also you can either create these items or we can work on the moving of this. So let's write down these functionalities. First functionality will be moving Pac-Man, right? Second functionality will be generating eating items, right? Generating food. Then third item will be eating part, right? Eating food. So basically, you need to understand that how will I be moving my Pac-Man? I'll be moving my Pac-Man using my key down events. What are my key down events? If I press the right key in my keyboard, if I press the up key, it should go up. If I press the right key, it should go to the right. If I press the down key, it should go down. If I press the left key, it should go left. Right? How will I do that? Using my key down events. What are key down events? Key down events are basically whenever I press a key on my keyboard, these events get triggered. If the user is pressing the right arrow key, I want to make sure my Pac-Man goes to the right. How will I do that? So the reason why we had made our entire game area as position relative and Pac-Man was position right was to actually show you guys something. Look at this. So if I go to my game right now and start my game, I see my Pac-Man. If I select Pac-Man, now look at this. If I increase the top, do you see how Pac-Man is shifting downwards as I'm increasing the top? See how I'm completely increasing the top 65, 75, 100, 80, right? 100, 110, 120. The more I increase, the more it's going down, right? Similarly, if I'm increasing the left side, it is being shifted to the left, right? So basically, the logic is that if I increase, the logic is that let's say this is my game. Currently, this is where my Pac-Man is, right? If I want to go down, let's say if the user presses the down arrow key, if I want to go down, I am increasing the top. Yes, I'm increasing the top. If I want to go up, I am decreasing the top. Why? This is the top area. If I want to go, let's say down by 100 pixels, I'll be saying my top is equal to 100 pixels. If I want to go up by 50 pixels, I'll say 100 pixels minus 50 pixels. So to go up, we'll be subtracting negative. Basically, we'll be subtracting the top. If I want to go down, I'll be increasing my top. If I want to go right, if I want to go right, I'll be increasing my left. If I want to go left, I'll be decreasing my left. Does this make sense, guys? Please tell me if this is making sense. Yes. So basically, my movement becomes very simple, right? So if I want to move Pac-Man, what I do is I add an event listener for my key down. And then what I do is I first check, is my game active? If my game is active, only then will I want to play, right? Secondly, I want to only move my Pac-Man if the Pac-Man also exists. So this is basically somewhat like two checks that I'm making, that my Pac-Man should be there if I want to move my Pac-Man. And obviously my game should be active. The game should be running, right? The game flag should be true. Then what I'll be doing is I'll be checking if I'm pressing up arrow key or down arrow key or left arrow key or right arrow key, right? If I'm pressing up arrow key, that means I want to go up, meaning whatever is the position of my Pac-Man, I'll be going up, right? So what I do is I make a step size. Step size is how many units do you want to move every time the user presses the key down. So if the user presses, let's say once, we'll be going minus 20 pixels, right? If I press down, I'll be going plus by 20 pixels. Arrow left will mean that I'm going minus these many pixels, and right would mean I'm going my right these many pixels, right? So this is the functionality that I need to move my Pac-Man. Over here again, we add this code and just make sure that this event that you're adding, you will be adding this event in your start game, because you only want to move your Pac-Man if the game has started. So whenever you're starting the game, only then you will add this event listener, right? Technically, when the you want to end the game, you will be removing this event listener, right? Technically, when you will be ending, yeah, technically when you will be ending the game, you want to remove this event listener. All right. Anyways, all right. So now what will happen is if I start my game, my Pac-Man is there and I can move it. As you guys can see, I can move it. How am I moving it? Because I've added an event listener to my entire document. That wherever in my document I'm pressing the right key, I want to plus the position of my Pac-Man. Look at this. Just look at the position of the Pac-Man. All right. You see how left is increasing? 320, 340, 360, 380, 400, 420, 440, 460, 480, 500. Right? Continuously it will go. Correct? If I want to go down, I'm increasing the top 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160. Right? If I want to go up, I'm subtracting. And technically, the first position that my Pac-Man will have is this, which is 0, comma 0. Top is 0, left is 0. How many of you guys can agree to this? How many of you guys are agreeing to this? Right? Cool. So basically, based on my key down events, I'm now moving my Pac-Man. What is the next step? The next step is randomly adding my items. Right? So what we'll be doing is we'll be making two functions to spawn items and to spawn ghosts. Right? So spawning items will mean that I'm creating items. So what will I need to do is I need to create any div, right? And I'll give it the class item, class as item basically. Because if you see our styling, what we have done in our styling is we have item as a class and ghost is also a class. Ghost is 2020 pixels, background color is blue, right? Item is 1010 pixels, background color is red, and it is a circle. Ghost is a proper this thing, right? I can also make this a better color. Light blue is slightly better, right? So basically, these two are the functions that I'll be using to add my items. And again, I'm randomly adding on the left. So basically, I'm giving my the food items. I'm randomly adding anywhere on the screen, right? So I will be giving them left and top randomly. Even ghosts, I'll be giving left and top randomly, and I'll be appending them. Yes, Umesh. So basically, items are getting spawned randomly, and ghosts are also getting spawned randomly at random positions. Right now, what is this game area dot offset width, offset height? This is to make sure that they stay inside basically the game area. I don't want to give a position of 1,000 2,000 pixels. I want to make sure that the items are inside the width and height of my box. Right. So this is that part. Is this clear to everyone? Yes, basically these two functions will help me spawn items randomly. So if I call this spawn item now, look at this. Let's say whenever we are starting the game, I will randomly add three items. Right? So what will this do? This will basically call the spawn item function. The spawn item function creates an item, it's a div, gives it the class of item, and just appends it in the game area. Yes. So if I go over here, go to my Pac Man game and start the game, I see three random dots, right? Then start the game again, three random dots, right? Start the game again, three random dots. The reason why I don't have to remove them also is because whenever I'm ending the game, I'm just resetting my entire this thing. End game, I'm resetting the entire inner HTML, right? Then spawning ghost also works the same way. What if I wanted to spawn a ghost every time the game starts, or two ghosts every time the game starts? Look at this. So now what do I have? I have one Pac-Man, two ghosts, and three eating items. Right? Again, two ghosts, three eating items, one Pac-Man. Yes. So are you guys understanding how the game is now working? And every time it is random because we're using the math.random function, which is allowing us to give a top and left randomly. So not only is your x-axis random, even your y-axis is random. And these two properties are random for every element that is there. Cool. How do you guys feel? Is the game coming along now? Yes. Okay. Now what we'll be doing is great. Let's move forward. The next step is now our Pac-Man is moving. Our items are spawned. What I want to do now is that make sure that firstly, look at this. If I'm moving my Pac-Man, I can take it all the way to the top, and then it just disappears. Right? Firstly, I don't want that to happen. I want to make sure that if my Pac-Man is going from the top, I want it to come from the bottom. Yes. If my Pac-Man is going on the right, I want to make it come from the left. Similarly, if it is outside of left, I want to make sure it comes from the right. So how will I do that? Well, this will basically require some maths. All right. If look at this now, just have a look at what my Pac-Man's position is. All right. Just keep on looking at this Pac-Man's position only, and that is it. Don't look at anything else. Just look at Pac-Man's position. If the top of my Pac-Man becomes negative, all right, if the top of my Pac-Man becomes negative, I would want the top of my Pac-Man to become basically 400 was the height of my 400 is the height of my game. So I would want it to become 380. So basically, if it becomes minus 20, I would want to make it 400 minus whatever was the height. How does that sound? Does that sound good? So basically, whenever the top of Pac-Man becomes negative, I want it to come from the bottom. That means I'll give the top as 400 minus the step. Yes. Similarly, if the left of my if the left of this Pac-Man becomes negative, left becomes minus 20. I will make sure that the left is equal to 600 minus 20. That means left is equal to 580. Yes, do you see this? Similarly, if the left becomes greater than 600, if it becomes greater than 600, I would want to make sure that it becomes 20. Are you guys seeing how we can basically say that it is going over there, then it's not looping around. We're just making sure that it shifts back to this position, right? Similarly, if it's going above the screen, we want to make sure that it starts from the bottom. And that is what we're doing, right? So that is basically, we'll be using this function called before ghost movement and collision detection wrapping around. So wrapping around code is just what we're going to do is we're going to get the game areas dimensions and the elements dimensions, right? If the left of my or you can say the right position, it's this is basically some logic that I've written. All it is doing is the same thing, only that it is resetting if this is gone outside the bounds. Similarly, if the element has gone outside the bounds from here, if it has gone outside bounds below or above, right? So basically, this is the function that you'll be calling whenever you want to uh, wrap anything around, any element around. So this is the best thing about this is that you're passing in elements because we would want to wrap around our ghost as well. See, if the ghost is also going outside, we want it to come from left. If the ghost is also going down, we would want it to come from the up, right? So basically, I'm writing this function, which is technically a very modular function. Yes, Preeti, that is actually a great idea. So, guys, Preeti is saying that instead of this yellow dot, we can have an emoji, right? Guys, in fact, if even if you don't want to have this yellow dot, what you can do is you can have an actual GIF only. So there are free GIFs of Pac-Man, right? We can even use this GIF that is there. All right. So we'll do that beautification that is coming to the end. I will tell you guys all the beautification that you need to do. Right. First, tell me if this logic is clear, right? So basically this function, again, this involves a little bit of mathematics. That is why I won't get to the depth of it, but the main concept is that with the help of this function we can wrap around any element, be it our dot, be it our red dot, yellow dot, or be it the blue ghost that we have. So we'll add this function as well somewhere wherever we want to, right? And basically whenever I'm moving my Pac-Man, I would want, or whenever I'm moving my ghost, I would want this to be there, right? So basically, look at this. Whenever I'm moving my Pac-Man, then this is done, right? After I've moved it, what I would want to do it, I would want to say wrap around, and I will pass in my Pac-Man. So now, basically, when I call this function, what will happen is that if my Pac-Man is moving, right? If it goes up, it comes straight from the. Give me a second. Something is wrong. Okay, for some reason it's coming straight from here only. But at least it's being wrapped around. Let's see if this works. Okay, the dimensions are not set right. All right, we'll have to fix the dimensions. Let's see, wrap around game area we're getting. Okay. Oh, so what we'll be doing is we will be updating the wraparound function a little. This is actually the updated wraparound function. And I will also update it in the notes that you have. Basically, the wraparound function is taking the Pac-Man and it is basically taking the element and it is taking the position as well, right? And it's taking both the things, all right, and then it's doing whatever it wants to do. Okay. And whenever I'm calling it, I'll be calling it with the Pac-Man position only. So inside my code over here, what I'll be doing is moving my Pac-Man and I'll have the Pac-Man position over here. Okay. All right. So basically, I'll be creating a left and right for the position and then accordingly doing it. All right. This is the same code. All I've done is I've just added some left and top over here inside an object, and we're storing the position in an object. So basically, sometimes DOM becomes not that reliable. So what you do is you basically add all of the positions inside. See, if we have a game active, game non-active part also in our this thing, right? As our basic variable. Similarly, we have a Pacman position also as a basic variable, which will have all the position that it is needed. That is needed. Yes. Okay. All right. So now if I go over here and if I refresh, I'll basically be moving my Pacman accordingly. Cool. Okay. Now we need to detect collisions. So the next important part is understanding firstly that we need to move our ghosts. Moving the ghost is also very simple. See, whenever we are spawning the ghost, there will be a 50-50 chance that the ghost will move downwards, top down, or right left. Right? Like over here, there are two types of ghosts. One is going to the right, one is going sideways, one is going top and down. Right? So every time we are initializing a ghost, what we would want to do is we would want to make sure that it goes either right, left, or top and bottom, right? So again, how do we do that? Whenever we are making a ghost, right? So whenever I have this function of spawning the ghost, what I'll be doing is I'll be making this function to move my ghost as well. Now the ghost movement is actually very simple, right? Again, randomly we'll see that if we want to move it horizontally or if you would want to move it vertically, right? So basically, when you make a mat dot random, it's going to give you a positive number or greater than zero point 0.5 or less than zero point 0.5. So basically, this becomes true or false value, right? So 50-50 chance that will be true, 50-50 chance that will be false, right? If this becomes true, that means you want to move our ghost horizontally. So that means you just want to increase the left of it, right? Till the game area is there, right? Similarly, else we want to move it from the top and bottom, and that's it. That is all that we're doing, and we're doing this in an interval, right? Why are we doing this in an interval? To move it continuously. So it'll continuously keep on going to the right or continuously keep on going to the left every 60 milliseconds. All right. So this is the code that you need to make your ghost move, right? So this is another function that we have. And again, to explain this function to you guys, it's very, very simple. All you need to do is you need to continuously move your ghost, and that's it. Yes. And for this to work, what you need is actually an array of intervals as well, because you want to save these intervals. Okay, so this was missing over here. All right. So now what will happen is whenever I do this, your ghosts should start moving. And oh, they will not move right now. Why? Because we need to add this movement to the spawn ghost, right? Whenever we are spawning the ghost as well. So whenever we are spawning the ghost, basically we need to call this function. So whenever we are spawning ghosts, I'll be saying move ghost and ghost. Right? So with this now, technically our ghosts should start moving. And as you guys can see, they're starting to move. Right? See, now there's a 50-50 chance that sometimes they're going top to bottom, sometimes they're going left to right. And as you guys can see, even these are calling that wraparound function and they're already shifting, they're wrapping around the game. Right? How are they wrapping around the game? They're wrapping around the game because of this move ghost function only. Over here, if you notice, we are calling we are basically calling the same logic. Anyways, all right. See, this was the only complicated part, right? Because this involved a little bit of maths. That's why I just rushed through it. All right. Anyways, so you guys can see that more or less we have come almost to the end of the class, right? As you guys can see, I can move my Pac-Man. I can move my ghost items now. Now the only thing is left is to write the logic that whenever I go close to this red dot, I want to get rid of this red dot and create a new one, right? Whenever I go close to this ghost, I want to end my game. Whenever I eat a red dot, I want to increase my score. And eventually, when my score is divisible by 5, I need to spawn new ghosts. Right? That's the logic. So obviously collision detection is what we want to do. What is collision detection? So you guys need to understand that in the terms of JavaScript, what is collision detection? If you guys ever do game development using technologies like Unity or any other thing, you guys will understand that collision detection is actually a very important tool, right? And it allows you to detect that if things have collided. Let's say if I'm making a, first person game where I'm shooting someone, there will be a physical bullet leading the character, and if that bullet touches any other character, then the character dies, right? But over here we cannot really get those functions. So for us, what is a collision detection? The collision detection is basically saying that if the top left bottom right of my Pac-Man is anywhere inside, right, this element's top right left or anything, so not only the position, but I need to take care of the size of the item too, right? If this size becomes 50, it should be easier to collide. If this size is 5, it will be smaller and difficult to collide. Yes, are you guys understanding this as well? So basically, collision detection is a generic function that I will write. And in this generic function, what will happen is we are basically going to say that if, right, if the position of my Pac-Man or the size of my Pac-Man is somewhere around that, right, then it is a good to go. So basically over here, we make a very simple function of item collision and ghost collision, right? And I make a function for is colliding. So basically what I say is, I say something like that first, if my item is being collided, right, I will check if any of the items, see I have an array of items, if any of my items is being collided, that means that, I will remove that item and I will spawn a new item. So apart from removing that item, spawning a new item, I want to increment my score as well, right? If the ghost is being collided, if the one of the ghost is colliding, that means I want to end the game. Now what is this colliding? Is colliding basically takes two things. It takes one element and it takes the second element. It gets their positions. It basically says that if my bottom and top are in the middle, top and bottom are in the middle somehow, right? Or the right or left is in the middle, or the left or the right is in the middle. Basically, just checking if anywhere there is any collision that is happening, all the four edges, right? If there is a collision happening, we'll say that is colliding is true. Else we'll say it's false. And based on if a ghost is being collided or if an item is being collided, we'll do different things. All right. Now, once I do this, what you guys need to understand is that what you guys need to understand that whenever my Pac-Man is moving, I'll be checking for these two. Every time I update the position of my Pac-Man, right? Every time I move my Pac-Man, I need to check if my item was collided or my ghost was collided. Why? Because every movement of Pac-Man will define that. Yes. What do you guys think? And now I believe this is it. The moment you do this, your game becomes playable. And if you start moving, you'll see that with every item that I eat, right, my score increases. And the moment, okay, I still haven't added the part that I need to add more ghosts, right? Okay, we'll do that as well. So when do I need to add more ghosts? I need to add more ghosts the moment my this thing is divisible by 5, right? So look at this. Wrapping around, finalizing and testing. Mm, adding ghosts, ghost movement, spawning ghosts. Yes, so basically I want to spawn my ghost the moment score becomes divisible by 5, right? So technically all I need to do is whenever I am incrementing my score, right? Whenever item is colliding and every time this happens, I need to now check if my score, right, is divisible by 5 technically, and what I'll do is I'll make this as 1. All right. If my score becomes divisible by 5, then I'll be spawning a ghost. Cool. So basically now what happens is that I start my game, right? I get 1, 2, 3, 4, and the moment it'll become 5, I'll get a new object, new ghost, right? And that's it. How does this look? And with this, your entire game is done. Yes. What do you guys think? Cool. Okay. So this was it for the Pac Man game. What I will now be doing is, if you guys have any doubts, please let me know. The code is already there in the GitHub repo. So again, if you don't want to follow this code, you can just follow this GitHub repo. I hope all of you guys know how to deploy this game. So how will you be deploying this game? Well, all you need to do is go to GitHub, create a new repository, right? So guys, now I will. Okay, mean score 5 hote hi. Yes, yes, Anjali. Yes. So has Tanisha understood this? Because Tanisha had a doubt saying that I cannot see my ghost, I cannot see my Pac-Man. Tanisha, can you now see everything? So this was it, guys. If you guys want to know how to deploy this and share this with your friends, what you need to do is create a new repository in GitHub, right? By the way, look at the time right now, it's 1:05 p.m. So I will just be showing this to you guys once. This session is obviously recorded. So please rewatch on how to deploy. All you need to do is create a public repository, say Pac-Man public, right? Pac Man Game or whatever you want to. Then what you need to do is make sure it's public and create a repository, right? Once you create the repository, all you need to do is you just need to upload all of your files. So click on upload and upload all the three files that we have made, right? So index, script, and styles. Import them and commit changes. So let them upload. Once they're done uploading, press on commit changes, commit all the changes, right? Commit means that your changes will be live. Now my repository has all of my code. I can go to the settings and inside the settings, go to pages. Inside pages, click on deploy from main branch and click on save. The moment you follow these steps, within 2 to 3 minutes, if you refresh over here, you will get a link, right? Let's wait for 2 to 3 minutes. Till then, let me share you guys the link for the certificate. So good job. Congratulations, guys. You have followed the entire tutorial. You guys know now how to make the Pac Man game. And yes, yes, you can even put it on Netlify and Versal, right? But GitHub Pages is the quickest way that is there. All right. So what I'll be doing now is I'll be sharing the certificate links, but let's also wait for the deployment to be done, right? And within 2 to 3 minutes, you guys will be able to see the link that you guys will all be able to play the game in, right? Okay, so now the game is live. This is the link. If I go over here, I can see my game and I can play it as well. Yes. So basically, this becomes the link of my game, right? And I'll share this with you guys in the chat so that you guys can quickly have a look at this, right? Anyways, so this was it, right? And again, as soon as I get the link for the certificates, I'll share that with you guys. The certificates you will not get instantly. You will have to fill in your email and phone number. And once the certificates are made, you will get the certificates via mail, right? So technically, you will not get the certificates the moment you fill the form. It won't get downloaded. What will happen is you will get them in a while. All right. So be patient. Just fill in the correct information, and that is it. Again, if you guys want to book a one-on-one free counseling session, that is up there. If you guys want to see more such games or tutorials, we've even built the Mario game, right? And in the Mario game, we added the assets that I think one of you guys suggested. So in the Mario game, guys, over here, if you go, you will see that in the Mario game, I had added all of these assets. Let's see. Let me show you guys the gameplay. Right. So this was the game that we made to make Mario, and over here it was actually the same Mario game that was there, and we had a GIF of Mario, pressing spacebar to jump. There were mushrooms. There were the pipes that come, and we had the Mario background music as well. All right. So you please do watch this as well. And yeah, there are a lot of other games that we have made. We've even made the snake game, right, using HTML and CSS. If you guys want to learn how to make more games, this game was also very simple and very cool to make, right? And even in this game, we had done that part where we had to, make sure that uh, if the snake is going upwards, it needs to come from the below. If it goes rightwards, it needs to come from the left, right? I believe now you guys have the link for your certificate. Please click on this link, go fill your certificates. It's just a simple form. And in this form, what you need to do is fill your email, fill your name, and fill your phone number. All right, and you'll get a certificate. Right, again, the certificate will reach to you on your email or phone number. Please be active on your email also. Keep checking your emails, and you will not instantly get the certificate. That's for sure. All right. Great. So, how was the class, guys? What is the feedback? Did you guys enjoy the class? Did you guys learn something? Yes. And please fill in the certificates as well. Okay. Great. Siddharth is saying ek number, that means great. Thank you, Siddharth. Tanisha is saying great. Thank you, Tanisha. Thank you for asking me those doubts. They are very, very important. Right? Swapnil is saying yes, sir. It was great. Preeti is saying yes, right? Awesome. Great, great. So have you guys filled in the forms for the certificates? Yes? Great. So I believe we are ending the session early. That is a good sign. I believe that we have covered everything. And just for the record, guys, you guys can add all of these assets. So instead of using proper divs, you can use images. So convert every div into an image, right? That is a homework that I can give you guys. And if you convert every div into an image, it will be the same thing. The only thing will be that your Pac-Man game will start looking like Pac-Man game, because you can get this online, you can get your image of the ghost online, and just use an image instead of a div. So whenever you're spawning a ghost, that will be spawning instead of a div, it will be an image, right? What is your Pac-Man? It will be an image instead of a div. Means for fun is saying how to get an internship, practice regularly, right? And do your DSA, have select a path that you want to. For that, you'll have to go and fill in that one-on-one counseling session, and over there, our counseling team will definitely let you know how to get an internship. Right? There's a proper step. You need to have a good resume. You need to have good skills. You need to have good DSA. You need to have good, let's say web development skills or data analytics skills, or in general, if you're good in DSA, that will also help. Right? Then apart from that, you need to be ready for interviews as well. You need to be interview ready. You need to have, again, good projects. You need to have good soft skills, all of which we at AccioJob teach you guys, right? So again, please do book that free session that is there. Please let me share the link again, right? I think most of you are done, and yes. All right. Yes, Preeti, please. If you guys want, you guys can tag me on LinkedIn. So my LinkedIn is mostly easily available only. I'll just send this in the chats. You guys can copy this if you want to. My username is Avi Vashishta as it is. And you guys can send me connection request. If you have any doubt, please let me know. You guys can tag AccioJob and tag me. And we will definitely, help you guys reach a better audience. All right. Thank you so much, guys. I believe we can now end the session. And it was a pleasure teaching all of you, right? Have a good Sunday, and please build more games, right? Again, watch any YouTube video that we have uploaded, or watch any other, come up with any other creative game. Maybe edit this game only, make levels, right? Maybe every 10 eat items that you eat, maybe you make the ghosts spawn in faster. Maybe you make other items spawn in faster, right? All of that. Anjali, I think I did not receive that tag. I'll have a look at that. All right. Please tag me again and I'll definitely respond. Great. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you guys have a good time building such games, right? And I hope to see you in the next masterclass, where we might do something other than this and something way more interesting. All right. Thank you so much and have a good day. Have a good Sunday. And I enjoyed all of you guys being here and teaching along with me. Great.